party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me using all new Covergirl stuff. They recently sent me a ginormous box of PR stuff, which I have right here, and we're going to put all this stuff to use today. So, oh god, it's so heavy. It looks like a ginormous IKEA box. Like, look at this. It looks like it's from IKEA. So we got stuff for lips, face, eyes, the whole shebang. So, oh god. Oh, that could have been really bad. So we should be able to create an entire look out of just what's in here today. So all this stuff is part of their new spring 2018 collection. So I'm gonna be giving you guys my thoughts, first impressions. I feel like this would be a really fun little spring get ready with me and just testing out some new stuff. So if you guys want to see what's in here and see how it works on my face, then please keep watching. So I'm pretty sure they're trying to rebrand and appeal to a newer, younger audience. They've changed their slogan, they've got new packaging, kind of a new image. I will get to my thoughts on that in just a second, but yeah, it used to be easy breezy, beautiful CoverGirl, and now it's I am what I make up. Yeah. So here's what the eye drawer looks like. So as you can see, we got some eyeshadows, some brow products, mascara, liquid liner. The Peacock mascara is newer, but I wouldn't really consider this to be part of the spring 2018 collection because I've tried this before, like several months back. We do have these True Naked palettes. I feel like this one's been around for a little while though. This is the Smoky palette, so this is like the Urban Decay Naked Smoky. Then a couple of these are from the Katy Perry collection. These are the Katy Kat palettes. So you got a more neutral one, and then you got a more springy looking colorful one. I really want to use a springy colored one because I'm just trying to create spring looks because it's spring now, and I just feel like it's not very cohesive. Like the colors, like each one individually is very pretty, but there are no mattes in here, and I just feel like I don't know, I can't create an entire look with this. I'm gonna try my best to use all these shades, but I don't know. Like I feel like I always use shades like this, like these neutrally colors. So we're gonna put that one to the side today and use this is the 𝐒𝐿_𝐀 Katy Perry palette. Then they also have a new eye primer. This is the lid lockup primer. So here's what that looks like. As far as the packaging goes, like their whole rebranding thing, I feel like it's very plain. Like I feel like they're kind of going like 10 steps back. Like I don't really feel like they're progressing any. This just looks more old to me. Like it just looks more outdated. But I'm not very creative when it comes to more like vibrant colors like what's in here, like these springy colors. So I did look up on Pinterest and on Google like some inspiration, and I can't really find inspiration for this, so I'm just gonna like throw them on and just see where it takes me. It probably won't look very good, but we're just gonna hope for the best. I'm gonna start out with the eyeshadow primer, and it does come with a doe foot applicator. Here's what it looks like. I used this yesterday, and it doesn't have any color to it. It's just transparent, but it does set pretty fast. No coverage, which is usually what I like. But if it does keep my eyeshadows on longer, that's okay too. Actually, I just found an inspiration picture on Pinterest. I don't know who to give credit to. I don't know who this belongs to, but I will put the picture over here. There is writing in the picture, but I can't tell what it says. It looks like it says Glam Theory by, oh god, it starts with a Prakanaka. I don't know what it says. Here's what the 𝐒𝐿_𝐀 palette looks like. As you can see, they're very pastel-y. You've got a mauve pink, a royal blue, you've got a lavender, a mint, this really pretty teal over there. You've got a lighter pink, and then like a silvery shade, a black, a gold, a taupey, whatever shade. So here's what a few of them look like swatched out. This one right here, that teal, where is it? Right there. That one's actually really, really pretty, so hopefully I can incorporate that one into this look. Yeah, they're not swatching out all that well, but that doesn't say a lot, okay? Just keep in mind that just because something doesn't swatch well doesn't mean it's not going to perform well on the eyes with the primer, with the brush, all that jazz. I will say as far as the primer goes, it has set, but it still feels pretty like sticky and very tacky. So I feel like it definitely will need to be set. But one good thing about translucent primers is that they don't really crease. Like you're not gonna see the creases. It doesn't perform like a concealer. So in the picture, it looks like she's got a light pink and a lavender in the crease. So we're gonna start out with this light pink right here. So I did get quite a bit of product on my brush, so hopefully it does translate. Oh, let's see, let's tap off the excess. That might have been my fault. There's a lot of fallout. Okay, there's some fallout, but there is pigment going on, so that's good. Like I'm actually a little shocked. I do feel like the primer is really grabbing at it and really like helping it stick, but if you don't tap off the brush, you will have a lot of fallout. Even though there's shimmer in it, you can't really see it. It's kind of performing more matte. Okay, so that actually looks very smooth. It's very pigmented, but I will say, look how much fallout is in the pans. So now I'm gonna go into this lavender. It's got kind of like a blue iridescence to it, but we're gonna put that in the crease as well. So it's like a week and a half later, and I just realized that a really big chunk of the video is missing. So we are picking back up where I left off with the pink eyeshadow. Everything from there was lost. But I went in with this lavender shade right there, and I put that in the crease as well, kind of just a little bit lower than the pink shade, but you really can't see it in the end. But we're just gonna go ahead and do it just for the sake of trying to recreate it step by step. I'm just gonna put it right in the socket of the crease. A little bit lower than the pink though. I really want the pink to be like the standout shade in the crease. I want you to be able to see it the most. It does kind of give me a purpley vibe, like a lavender vibe to kind of go with the pastel theme, but it's not super flamboyant. But I will say, all these across the board, I'll go ahead and ruin the ending for you. They're all pretty sheer, but they're very buildable, but they're easy to work with. So we're gonna go into this shade right here, which is a really pretty shimmery, like deep teal. It's kind of like an emerald teal. So I like how I started out recreating someone else's look, and it just goes completely different from here on out. So we're gonna put this in the outer and the inner V. So we're basically gonna do like a spotlight eye and try to keep the center of the lid as clean as possible. So I'm just gonna tap and press this into the outer V and then blend it into the crease a little bit. And at first it will look kind of harsh, like you'll be able to see a definite differentiation between like the pink and the lavender and this shade. So we will go in and blend later on. Could be a little more intense. Like I want to show up just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in and spray my brush and just like, we kind of just laid a base down, so we don't have to do too much work to it since we've got that first layer. So I'm just gonna pat this on top of what we just did. So I think what I did next, I really hope I'm right, because this was, like I said, like over a week and a half ago. I think I went in with this mint blue right here, and this also has kind of like it has a weird kind of iridescence to it. I should probably be swatching these for you guys. There's what it looks like. I guess it kind of has like a purple iridescence to it, so all the shades kind of tie in together in one way or another. But as you can see when you swatch it, it's very, very sheer. Like this looks like a topper. And I'm gonna spray this one as well. I don't see this working very well dry, so I feel like you definitely have to spray it. I'm just gonna put it right there in the middle where we left it blank. So it's kind of gonna like, we're gonna go into teal and then that light blue and then teal again. It's just kind of all gonna fade together. So I don't know if you guys can see, but every time I put my brush into it, it just moves the product around. It's like sand. Like it's just like putting your foot into sand and just moving it around. It just doesn't seem very tightly packed in there. And this one is very, very sheer and very buildable. Like this is the third or fourth layer that I've gone in with. Let's try it with my finger. I'm not sure if I actually ended up doing this, but we're gonna try it with my finger. Okay. That does intensify it a little bit. Like I feel like the finger, I always say the finger like it's a tool. My finger is working a little bit better than even wetting the brush. So I'm gonna go back on this side. Oh yeah, it packs it on a lot better. So I'm gonna go back into the brush that I used for the pink and the lavender with nothing else on it and just kind of blend all of the bluish shades together in the crease, because I don't want it to look too choppy and too blocky. Okay, so I think I can get behind this. Like I feel like this would be a really cool look once everything's put on. So I'm gonna go into the True Naked Smoky palette because it's got a matte ivory shade in here, and just go ahead and put the ivory shade on my brow bone. Okay, so this one's working nicely, but there is a lot of fallout with all of these. Okay, moving on to some liquid liner. Now, I typically don't like liquid liner because it gets all of my lashes and it makes them sticky and goopy. And then when I go in mascara, like I just can't do anything with it. Okay, so I just pulled up everything on Ulta. So I will have everything linked below with Ulta links. But let's see, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades in liquid liner. And the shades aren't printed on the actual tubes themselves. Like they just go by numbers. But on the top of them, like they're kind of color coded, but there are like 2 or 3 that are black looking. So it looks like they're just different shades of black. So there's a black vinyl, which I'm guessing is a shiny black, like a shiny finish. There's a black out. I don't know which one's which though. There's a bold brown, which looks black. There's a black crystal, which has glitter in it. So I think that one's this one right here. And then there's a random teal. So this is called Teal Crystal. So here's what the applicator looks like. It's very fine, very tiny. I feel like people will like this. So as you can see, you can make a really, really fine, thin line with this. So it's not too thick. And I feel like this would be okay for making a wing as well. Okay, so the crystally ones are not very pigmented. I feel like these are like eyeliner toppers. So here's black crystal. You probably can't tell anything about it. Here is black brown, or Yeah, is that what it's called? Bold brown. So that's bold brown, and then that one's teal crystal. So yeah, the crystally ones don't really do much. So I'm still waiting to figure out. Oh no, wait, okay. Okay, so I think this one, so let's see. 325, I'm pretty sure, well, it should be on here somewhere. I'm just looking over it. I'm pretty sure 325 is black vinyl, and then 320 is blackout, which is matte. So blackout, black vinyl. There's one side done. It's not squiggly. It's not super jagged or anything, which is my biggest problem with liquid liner. You can see every mistake I made, but this one's actually pretty straight, so I do like that about it. It doesn't really set to be super jet black though. Like, it sets and it does dry really fast, and it does dry down to be matte, but it almost looks kind of like a charcoal gray. Even though you can get a really skinny, thin line with this, which I do appreciate, it's really long. Like, I just feel like it's a little bit too long. Like, I feel like you kind of start losing control when it gets to be this long. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and we're gonna come back and do a wing. We're gonna attempt to do a wing. Okay, so that was actually pretty easy to make. Like, I wanted to do just a little tiny flick. Yeah, like, that is pretty good. Like, it doesn't disperse too much product, which I definitely do appreciate. But I just don't like the pigmentation. It's just not super opaque. It's not super jet black, which is what I want from a liner. So I'm gonna go over it with, let's go over it with the matte black, or kind of matte black, and the palette that I've been using. So I don't really see myself using it a whole lot aside from just making a wing, but I could see a lot of people liking this one. So moving on to mascara. So they did provide the Peacock Flare mascara, which I've already done a review over, and I've tried it and stuff. I just don't like this. Here's what the wand looks like. Got it all over my hand. It's just too chunky and large for me. Like, I just need something a little bit more precise. It does too much separation and not enough volume and length. So I'm not going to use these today. I'm going to use my own mascaras to get a really pretty, like, false lash look. So I'm going to go apply some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so moving on to brow products. I have two different brow products to show you guys. I have this ultra fine, I can't say that, ultra fine brow pencil. So this is kind of like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's just a really fine tip brow pencil like that. And then I have a brow pomade. So this is the Sculpt and Set brow pomade. So there's what that looks like. So there are 4 shades in the brow pencil. There are only 3 on the Ulta website for some reason. I don't really know why. But there is soft blonde, soft brown, rich brown, and honey brown. So I feel like there needs to be a taupe. Hopefully one of these looks taupey. You do get a spoolie on one side. And I've used this once before, but I'm really not into products like this. Like, I just need something a little bit more fast for my brows because they're so thick. But I will be using that one today. I'll be using both the pomade and the brow pencil. And then there are 4 shades in the brow pomade. So you do get a little brow brush on this side, and this doesn't really look all that great. Like, it kind of looks kind of flimsy and a little bit too, like, it's really little, but it kind of looks thick at the same time. But one thing I noticed about this is how tiny it is. Like, this is the size of maybe a quarter or like a nickel. Like, it's so tiny. So for example, the brush I usually use is this one right here from Morphe. I'm not really sure what it is, but there's what it looks like. It has a spoolie on the other side. This is the one that everyone uses, and you can't really fit it in there. Like, it fits, but barely. So I'm gonna start off with the pomade first, and I think this is soft blonde. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a little applicator that comes with it. Okay, so this little brush applicator is just a little bit too thick and fluffy, and it's just not precise enough. Like, you could definitely use it and get away with it, but okay, it's not really, it's like kind of soaking up all the product. Let's just go back into my Morphe brush. I'm not really liking how that's looking. Like, it just, the product itself seems very fluffy. It's almost like there are fibers in here. So now I'm gonna go into one of the brow pencils. Let's start out with soft blonde, and let's just work from there. Is it actually working? I feel like this just isn't pigmented enough. Like, when I swatch on the back of my hand, like, it barely swatches. I don't think this is doing anything. I do like the spoolie. I feel like it's really narrow and it goes through the brows really nicely. Let's try the other shade. I'm gonna try honey brown. Okay, I can see this one actually translating better, but it's still not super opaque. I just need more pigmentation than this. So yeah, brow products, not my favorite. Don't recommend them. So moving on to the face. So I don't have an actual face primer. We'll have to use a separate one for that. But I have these luminizing lotions. So this is the Vitalis Go Glow Luminizing Lotion. So there are 2 shades, and this is $10.99 on the Ulta website. So this doesn't really say it's a face primer, but it says it's a lightweight moisturizer with vitamins E, B3, and B5. Light reflecting pigments give you naturally luminous skin, and that's pretty much all it says. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use the shade Daybreak. Number 1, there's Daybreak, and then there's Sunkissed. So Sunkissed will give you a lot of color. I may use that around like the perimeters of my face, like where I put bronzer. So there's Daybreak. As you can see, it has a slight champagne beigey tone to it. So all I've got right now is moisturizer. So I'm gonna go ahead and dot this all over. All these products, like all the face products, smell very nutty. Like, I don't know if you guys have tried the CoverGirl Vitalist foundation. It's a newer foundation from them, but it has a very nutty smell, and all these products smell like that. Like, they're very heavily fragranced. But as you can see, it does give a very subtle glow. Like, it doesn't give you like a shimmery look. Like, it's not shimmery or anything. It doesn't have glitter or sparkle. I don't know. I wouldn't rely on this solely as my moisturizer. So I would use this to like mix in with your foundation or to mix in with your primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade number 2 Sunkissed around the perimeters of my face just to kind of start the bronzy look. I've only swatched this on the back of my hand. I haven't actually used it. But on the back of my hand, it gave me a lot of color. But right now, it's not really doing anything drastic. So it's definitely buildable. Like, the more you layer it, the more color you get. So yeah, it just gives you a nice glow. I don't know if I would pick that one up myself just because it's not like spectacular, but it's a nice formula. I don't know. It's just not super special to me. For foundation, they didn't send one, so I'm just going to use whatever's in my collection. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1. But first, I'm going to use this color corrector. Now, I don't use color correctors typically, but I do want to test it out for this video. This is the True Blend Pre-Touching Palette, so it comes with 3 shades. This is $12 on the Ulta website. They look pretty muted, so that's good. So let's use the yellow under the eyes just to brighten. I did go in with my face primer on top of the glow lotions because I'm not going to trust those for that purpose. So it is blending out really nicely. I'm not having a problem with that, but it's not really doing a whole lot. Like, can you tell a big difference? Well, I guess I can tell a little bit of difference. Let's use my sponge just to see. I'm just not big on color correcting. I feel like it's just an extra step that I don't need. So let's see where I've got redness. I've got redness all over. Let's put the green on my nose. Okay, again, kind of like a muted green. It's not too intense, which I think is necessary for color correcting. Helped a little bit. I feel like I need to turn down my eyes, so it's probably too bright. I'm sorry. So yeah, I can see some brightness under the eyes. Let's just put some purple on this side because I know purple doesn't cancel out like dark circles and stuff, but it's supposed to be brightening. So I'm gonna see which one I like better. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever used a color corrector on me. I don't know. I feel like the foundation will just cover it all up. So I don't know. Oh, you know what I want to do? I'm actually going to take off or like kind of rub away this side and see if I can tell a difference like in either like side versus side. So I'm just going to leave the purple right there, just kind of brighten. What do I need to be brightened? I really don't know. Like, I'm not good at this stuff. As far as coverage goes, I would say this is like a very light coverage. I'm just going to dot this on and not blend it out and see if that works better. I don't know if people actually do this, but I mean, it's going to get covered up. Like, if you thin it out too much, I feel like it's going to get covered up once you put your foundation on. But when you do that, you do get better coverage with it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1. We're going to see if we can see a difference from side to side. But I do feel like I got fuller coverage faster on the side where I color corrected. So that's kind of crazy. I didn't really expect that. I do feel like I had to build it up more on the side without color correction. So I don't really see a big difference under my eyes. Well, it may look a tad bit brighter under this side, like where I color corrected, but I really don't see a big difference. Like, I don't know, like I may use the green to color correct around here where I have a lot of recovering blemishes just to give me more full coverage, but I don't know. I'm up in the air about this right now, but it does work okay. So moving on to concealer. So they sent me a bunch of concealer. This is the Vitalist Healthy Concealer Pan. This is $10.99. There are 6 shades. Let's see. I'm going to use the lightest shade, which is, are you serious? They don't have the shades on here too. Major flaw in their packaging. I honestly can't believe that. So this is either fair or light. Now online they all look very orange, but in person they all look pretty neutral. So I'm going to use this one right here. I don't know what the shade is. I'm so sorry, but it has more of like a yellow undertone to it. So I haven't really heard very good things about this. I've only seen 1 or 2 people talk about it, but it doesn't seem like people are liking this very much. So let's see how long it takes to actually suck up the product. Probably 10-15 minutes. It's coming, I see it, yay! So I'm not having a problem with blending. It does blend out pretty quick. And I do like the shade. It's a nice yellow undertone. I feel like it's very brightening on my skin tone. But I would say as far as coverage goes, it's like a lot to medium coverage. I'm going to try to build it up though. Let's use a different shade. This shade looks a little bit more, just a little bit lighter than the other one. So be right back. Okay, here we go. Oh God, it's coming out. Ah! This one looks pretty peachy, but it looks pretty neutral in the thingy-majig. Okay, let's go in and try to build this up now. Okay, so it is building up in coverage, but I wouldn't say this is a full coverage. I would say like a medium. I'm gonna try to build it up one more time. I'm gonna use a more yellow undertone shade and just see if I can get a tad bit more coverage. So I would say this is a good medium to full coverage. I don't know if you could get a super full coverage out of it, but I'm kind of liking the way it looks right now on my skin. It's pretty brightening. I like the shades. So moving on to my next cream product, these are highlighters. This is the Vitalist Healthy Glow highlighter. This is $10.99. There are 6 shades, and I've used one of these before, just kind of like underneath a powder highlight, and they're kind of weird. Like the colors, number one, are kind of weird, but the formula itself is very moussey, but it's a very thin consistency. Oh, that's actually building up rather nicely. What shade is this? Oh, is the shade not on here? Okay, this is the shade number 1. So this is the lightest shade. I think I do have some leftover foundation on my hand though, so it did build up. So let's try shade number 2, which is like a white gold kind of shade. It just seems very thin in here. Like when you first swatch it, it feels like you're not really picking up much. Okay, this, I don't know how I feel about this. So there's the shade number 2. It gives you a subtle glow. Hopefully it's buildable though. And then you have like a coppery color. So I feel like if you have deeper skin, you would be able to find your shade in these, because I feel like there's not many light shades, but there's a lot of dark shades, which is something that is lacking amongst the other the other products in the collection. But you have this really pretty gold. So I feel like that'd be really nice on deeper skin tones. That's the shade number 6. You have a rose gold, you have a bronze, which looks like an eyeshadow, which is just really weird. And then you have this red toned coppery shade, which I feel like would be really pretty on deeper skin. So I'm going to apply the shade, oh my God, I got mixed up. What shade is this? Crap! I have no idea what shade this is, but it's the white gold shade. So we're just gonna pop this right on the cheekbone, shall I say. I don't know how I like how that's blending out. Like it's very patchy and there's very minimal glow from it. It's not really like meshing into my skin. Let's try it with a brush. Oh, gross. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like picking up a big, like, it's like very patchy right through there. It's picking up the product underneath. What is this? Okay, let's try the number 1 shade, the lightest shade. Oh, that's white. Oh, that's white. It doesn't want to blend out. Like, it just wants to stay stripy. And it's not that it necessarily dries fast. It's a problem with the consistency. So yeah, hard pass on this. These are not good. I don't like them. So for powder, I have the Vitalist Healthy Powder. This is $11.99 on the Ulta website. There are 4 shades, which suck. So the only shade that could possibly work for me is Classic Ivory. And this looks about like my skin tone, maybe a little bit lighter. And this one does have a more neutral undertone. But let's just show you these other shades. So this is the shade Warm Beige. This is a straight up orange. And then there's a shade Medium Beige. Again, very orange. And then the last shade is Buff Beige. And this one's like a weird kind of cool toned pinky dark shade. Just horrible shade selection. So I'm not impressed whatsoever. I'm gonna go in with a brush on this side with Classic Ivory. Okay, this is looking really dark. This doesn't look dark in the pan. It's, oh my God. Well, so much for that brightness. And so on the other side, I'm gonna use my sponge and set under my eyes. Okay, aside from the shade of all of these being absolutely ridiculously horrible, it oxidizes once it hits your skin. It seems smooth when you swatch it. I'm gonna use it to set the rest of my face. See how it does on that. We're really gonna give the setting spray that's coming up a run for its money. We're really gonna see how well it works because it's got a lot of decaking to do. So I can't really tell if this powder has potential. I mean, it doesn't look horrible on my skin, but the color is off. And this side with the highlighter looks absolutely dreadful. We'll let it sit there for a second. We'll let it marinate. I wanted to go in with one of these darker powders to use as a bronzer to see how it worked for that. I need to finish up my lower lash line too, though. let's go ahead and do that so I can actually, like, this has been the longest video ever. I'm so sorry. So let's see. I'm going to go into, let's go into the royal blue. I'm trying to use as many as possible, and royal blue is really big right now thanks to Kim K and Mario. I've never been a big fan of royal blue, but whatever. It's actually not working too bad, and they're not super shimmery like that. They're all kind of like a satin finish, like they have a little bit of a sheen, but like they almost can be played off as a matte shade. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that mint and pop that right in the center on top of the royal blue, just to kind of bring out a different kind of tone to it, make it look a little bit more dimensional. I'm gonna take the brush that I used for the lavender and blend underneath it. Actually, let's pick up a little bit of the lavender because it's got that blue undertone too. And let's just kind of blend underneath all that. Kind of tie it all together. Oh, I've got stuff in my eyes, can't see. Ugh. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this taupey kind of silvery shade and just brighten it up a little bit. Okay, so that's it for the eyes, and I'm actually kind of digging it. Like, it looks really cool. I feel like the rest of the face isn't doing the eyes justice, but I feel like on a normal day with like good face makeup, this would be really, really pretty. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of that Pinterest girl for helping me find some inspiration. So moving on to the rest of the face. First of all, it's creasing in between my eyebrows. I don't like the powder, just not doing it. But I'm gonna try the shade medium beige, I think. I guess, I don't know, this one, we'll go between that one or buff beige as a bronzer. I don't know how this is gonna work. That makes me look like I've got like a sickness. Like, I'm down with the sickness right now. That shade doesn't look all that good. Let's try medium beige. Okay, so medium beige does look more like a bronzer. So we're gonna go back in and try to fix this side. My face looks like a giant pumpkin right now. And then I'm gonna apply a pinky highlighter to kind of tie in with the mermaidy theme. Oh my God. My face is awful. For lips, I have several to choose from. I have Queen Collection Major Shade. I have Melting Pout Matte. And then I have the Katy Kat glosses. Look at all these shades. So we got some bright purples, we got some pinks, some reds, some like deeper tones. We got this really cool like teal gloss, which, you know what? I'm kind of feeling a little like daredevil-y today, so I may just do that. I did wear one of these Katy Kat glosses the other day that had like a lot of sparkle in it, but it was kind of like a nudie shade. And when it faded off, I was left with nothing but sparkle. It was pretty gross, actually. I look like an Easter egg. So this is very patchy and not very spreadable, but I don't like the formula. The formula sucks. Let's try a purple. Let's try a bright purple. This is in the shade Impulsion. Okay, very sheer. It goes on pretty dry. Okay, this is very patchy. Let's go ahead and try some setting spray. This is the Look Lock Up All Day Setting Mist. And I have tried this before, but I don't really know much about it. So let's go ahead and spray this on. Okay, it smells very aloe-y and kind of cucumbery, but I feel like you have to get it really close to your face. Like, you can't really hold it far back or it won't actually get on your face. My face looks horrible. But you know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to go in with one of these eyeshadows and just kind of use it as a topper. Let's do the mauve shade, the one that I've been wanting to put on. Let's just put that in the center. Ooh, sparkly. That's actually kind of cool. So I don't really feel like it's necessary to go over my thoughts over everything. As far as the setting spray goes, I have been sitting here for about 25 minutes now, and it did kind of make everything look less cakey and stuff, so I will continue to wear this one and I'll give you guys an update. The only things I'm really, kind of impressed with are the eyeshadow palettes, and this one in particular that I used today, I really do like the look that I created with it. It's a very seasonal palette though, but as far as everything else, not too happy with. I will continue to wear the lip products. I'm not impressed with the lip glosses, I will say that, but the Melting Pout liquid lipsticks, I do want to continue to wear those because they don't seem to be that bad. But yeah, I'm just not too impressed with CoverGirl overall. And it's not that I'm ungrateful at all, because I am so grateful and appreciative to CoverGirl for sending me this stuff. I was seriously so honored and shocked that they sent something to little old me. Like, I have such a small channel, and the fact that they included me in this huge PR, list, it's amazing. So a big thanks to CoverGirl for sending me this stuff, but I've got to keep it real. I've got to be honest, and I'm not impressed with the packaging. I'm not impressed with the formulations. I'm not impressed with the whole rebranding thing. I feel like they could have done a lot better, and that's just my constructive criticism, just from a normal consumer, because I'm a consumer just like you guys. So hopefully CoverGirl decides to take this as constructive criticism and better their brand. I'm not being mean, I'm not being negative. If I were to sugarcoat everything, you guys would see right through it, and I just don't appreciate that. If you decide to leave me a comment telling me that I'm negative and I'm mean and I'm rude, you will get blocked and deleted in a heartbeat, so there's no point in even trying that. But thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you coming here. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video despite how negative it was. Subscribe to my channel, I have a little button right down there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.